Hey there, welcome to the Chronicle Pregame Show. I'm Ryan Hoerger alongside Brian Pollack. Here you get set for Duke's opening weekend. They play a back-to-back Friday and Saturday, opening the season in their title defense Friday night at 7 p.m. against Siena, followed by an 8 p.m. game Saturday against Bryant. A really big sports weekend on campus here at Duke, Brian. So basketball team kicking off the season. Let's talk a little bit about the Blue Devils first, and then we'll talk about Siena and Bryant later on. So the Blue Devils cruised through exhibition play, two dominant victories as expected against Florida Southern and Livingston in the past couple of weeks, but they were not without their downfalls. Matt Jones and Emil Jefferson, two of Duke's three captains, both went down with injuries. They both missed some practice time, but on Monday, Grayson Allen, Marshall Holmes said that both of those guys are back practicing, so we should expect to see those guys on the court come Friday night, but maybe not in extended minutes. Ideally, for the Blue Devils, they get out to a big lead, kind of like they did in exhibitions, and they're able to kind of coast to the finish without having to push Matt Jones and Emil Jefferson too hard to keep them healthy. For what really is a stretch run, Brian, here right at the start, it's a sprint right out of the gate.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting to see how Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski manages the minutes with back-to-back Friday and Saturday night, then a huge matchup with number 2 Kentucky in Chicago coming up Tuesday, and then Duke travels to Madison Square Garden in New York for Friday, Sunday as part of the 2K Classic. They'll go up against VCU Friday and then either Georgetown or Wisconsin on Sunday. So a really grueling 10-day stretch to open the season for the Blue Devils. And I think it'll be a good kind of litmus test to see where they're at compared to last year, compared to their expectations. Ranked number 5 in the AP poll, pretty high, but a lot of new players to integrate on the floor. Freshmen, Brandon Ingram, Derek Thornton, Luke Kennard, and Chase Jeter, all four top 25 recruits are going to have to play a big role for Duke. Especially if Jones and Jefferson are limited, look for Jeter to come in and spell Jefferson a bit, and then Kennard and Thornton to take more of the minutes away in the backcourt from Jones.
Yeah, definitely. And so looking at Siena, just really quickly, Brian, what have you seen from the Saints coming off of a disappointing season last year? What do they have in store for the Blue Devils come Friday night?
Yeah, they can finish 11-20 last year. Maybe not their best performance. They lose their leading scorer from last year, Rob Poole, at shooting guard. But other than that, most of their lineup returns pretty intact. They're going to have a lot of upperclassmen in the backcourt, led by Marquise Wright, their junior point guard, who was their team MVP last year, their best all-around player. Second leading scorer after Poole with 12 points per game. He also led the conference in assists and had 2 steals per game. So look for a lot of all-around contributions from him. They have some size in the front court as well. Javian Ogunyemi, at 6'8", will probably be handling most of the duties down low, and he's their big defensive presence. So look for him to battle with Marshall Plumlee and Jeter down low as a matchup to watch.
Right, and then you come back 24 hours later, take on Bryant. The Bulldogs were 16-15 last year. The projected finished third this season in the Northeastern Conference. But really, Brian, in the offseason, the biggest storylines for Bryant came off the court. Assistant coach Chris Burns became the first openly gay coach in Division I men's college basketball. He came out earlier in the fall, and he actually got a lot of missed calls from a 919 area code here in Durham, and that number turned out to be Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski, who was calling to congratulate him on his historic announcement to come out and be the first Division I men's basketball coach to be openly gay. So lots of storylines to follow this weekend for the Blue Devils. The 5 games in 10 days, going up against a couple of teams that are looking to turn the corner after last season's performances. And really more off the court news for Blue Devils, Brian. Duke is very close to reeling in the top ranked class for a third consecutive year. All 4 members of the class 2016, Jason Tatum, Harry Giles, Frank Jackson, and Javin DeLaurier, all signed their national letters of intent on Wednesday. So basically cementing in stone the fact they're going to be here in Durham in the fall. So a big weekend for the Blue Devils. Siena Friday at 7 p.m., Bryant Saturday at 8 p.m. before we get into Kentucky next week. So feel free to follow Brian at Duke Basketball, at Chronicle Sports on Twitter, and keep up with our Blue Zone blog for all your pregame, postgame, and in-game coverage from this weekend. For Brian Pollack, I'm Ryan Hoerger. We'll see you guys later.